Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's JamBox. We're here. We're back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. But before we do, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. With that being said, here's a quick word from our sponsor. Organic herbs and botanicals, skincare and edibles, wellness for body and mind. The Brothers Apothecary. Fine teas and remedies. All right, thank you all so much for watching. Again, shout out The Brothers Apothecary. Make sure to click the link below and go check them out. I guarantee you're going to like it. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guest.
Hello, my name is Blastoff from the Third Eye Goonies. What's up, guys?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us. Why don't we go ahead and get on into it? Tell us a little bit about, who you are, where you're from, what you do. Give us that Tinder profile of your involvement with music.
So my name is Blastoff, and I originally was born here, and then I lived in Florida for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then I decided to move out here, and that's kind of how I got into this music scene out here.
Oh, hell yeah. And what got you started with music initially?
So initially, I was a terrible kid in school. Basically, I was just a bully and was just not listening, get terrible grades. And then eventually, there was this class that I actually liked. It was called Music Appreciation class.
Okay, hell yeah.
Dedicated students to learn about the history of hip hop and where it came from.
Oh, cool.
So we went back all the way back to what's that one song? I can't remember the name of it, but it's about this bus in the Bronx, pulling up and people dancing. I can't remember.
I know exactly what you're talking about too. I can't remember.
Yeah, it's so old. And we learned about all the classics. And then our the end of the year assignment was to write our own rap. Mm-hmm. I failed terribly at that one. I don't know how I write now. But,
oh no.
But basically, I forged somebody else's rap from the internet like a dummy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So basically, I had ripped a non-used thing that I guess an artist was going to use years ago.
Oh, okay.
Copyrighted it.
Oh, damn.
So it was on this website of just a whole bunch of unused raps, and it still exists today. So I'd be kind of sorry if somebody else used it, but basically, I took it from there, and then I ended up writing on the piece of paper, turning it in. He ended up calling my dad after school and saying, "Hey, your son, forged somebody else's rap from the internet. I need to come speak to both of you personally."
Oh, damn.
And so he went through the do's and don'ts of hip hop right there in front of me. He's number one, you don't take somebody else.
You don't take other people's bars.
Number two, you got to be original. It has to come from your heart, bro. You can't just come from anywhere. Just rap about what you know.
Yeah.
Not what anybody else knows, but what you know. And then he showed me how to write a rap bar for bar. That's kind of where I began.
Hell yeah. I mean, I guess that's kind of cool that at the end of it, he wasn't hey, you ripped this off, I'm just going to give you an F, don't come back. End of the year, don't come back.
Yeah, and then he accepted that as a grade. The one that we wrote together, he's I'll accept this.
Perfect.
Because this is about you.
Yeah.
And your story, so I'll accept this. Here's your A. And then he wrote it right there in front of me. And I was just
hell yeah. See, he just wanted you to do the work, it sounds like. Let's be honest. Nobody in middle school is putting up a quality rap, in their first go. I bet you he read this and was this is fire. There's no way he wrote this at the moment.
There's no way. Yeah, no way.
But again, it's cool that he took the opportunity to be no, sit down.
I feel bad for doing that. Now being an artist and where I'm at in my path now, I feel terrible.
I bet you you weren't the only one, first of all. I bet you're not the only person who's ever done it in all of his classes total.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there had to be somebody else that thought they were smarter than everybody else.
But he at least saw there was something in it. And I mean, you probably presented it well, and he was this guy's kind of got some flow. Why don't we show him how to do it? So shout out to the teacher for that. That's actually a pretty interesting way of doing it.
I wish I remembered his name. It's embarrassing. It's been so long.
That's all right. I can't tell you the names of any of my teachers from middle school, so I get it. Yeah. But actually, and that's kind of before we move a little bit further past that, I'm curious to know, this is a question I've been asking more recently. What was some of the earliest music you remember hearing? Like when you were younger, like when you go as far back as you can, what was like early music around you?
So the earliest music around me, my older brother, he loved to listen to the Beatles, John Lennon. There was one song that I loved. They actually made a cartoon version of it.
Okay.
It was from the Beatles. It was a Yellow Submarine. The Yellow Submarine cartoon where like, you know, go and it's like, you know, through the thing, they're all singing, going through all the doors and stuff.
Yeah. It was definitely super trippy.
Yeah, and then Scooby-Doo tried to redo it and they kind of ruined it. But yeah, but I remember listening to like Led Zeppelin, what was another one? Like Green Day, like all those old school bands. And then he had his own band called Red Dog Revival.
Okay,
so
cool name.
I tried to learn instruments with him. He tried to teach me how to play guitar. String broke and went into my wrist.
Oh, damn.
And I think I was only like 4 or 5.
And you were just like, never again?
Yeah. And so after that, they got me one of my own like little like toy guitars that had the little buttons that you could press.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, I have a picture of it somewhere out there, but yeah, it's a picture of me and him. He's holding his guitar and I'm holding my little toy one.
Hell yeah.
But yeah.
So then I guess when was the transition for you? Because it sounds like you grew up on a lot of like classic rock and things.
Yeah, like rock and roll and all that stuff. For me, the transition was when, so my mom and my dad things didn't work out in the home. There's a lot of stress in the home, a lot of fighting. And so they kind of split parts and they went their own ways. Mother ended up taking all of us, the kids. And so basically, in West Valley, Utah, what happened was, I got my hands on a radio and I found out about U92.7 or I think it's U92.5 or something like that. It's
I'll
like
have to take your word on it. I don't know Utah radio stations.
So it's like a Utah radio station where they only play hip hop, but at night they'd play Soulja Boy. So I'd be waiting for Soulja Boy. I don't know. It's kind of embarrassing to be a Soulja Boy fan, but like I was back then. Like I'd wait for them to go, Soulja Boy up in it. Oh, I mean,
hey, it was a jam. I don't care what anybody says. That track was a
And then my mom would hear it. She'd kick the door open. What are you doing? You're not supposed to be listening to that. She'd take the radio and then I'd somehow go take it back. And then, yeah, it just, that's kind of where it started with like the hip hop part was when I heard 92 with like Chris Brown and all these different artists. I was like, this is different than the Beatles and like Zeppelin and like the whole like headbanging, you know, screamo music. I was like, this is different. So
no, yeah, it's funny. When I was growing up, I grew up on a lot of the same music. It was all like, you know, like Metallica, AC/DC, like Def Leppard, things like that. Like that was just what was in my house. Like my stepmom listened to like Enya. You know what I mean? Like nothing super. I mean, shout out to Enya if you ever want to be on the show.
I grew up with like all that type of stuff.
Yeah. But like when in middle school, we moved cities and we lived kind of in an area where it was much more diverse. There was a lot more sounds. And that was when I got introduced to actually similar music and things like that. And so I remember mine was, one of the first ones was like Get Low and things like that, you know, like Lil Jon, the East Side Boys and like Nelly and all that. Yeah. Like
Get Low with the whistle.
Yeah. Like, so like
to the window. To
yeah,
the
exactly. Yeah. So like, and that song actually got me in a lot of trouble. Similar. My dad kicked out there. He's like, what is this? Just took the CD out and flung it out the window. I was like, dude, it's a CD. I can go get it. But yeah, like very much kind of the same experience.
I got in so much trouble. And then eventually, like later on in life, I met a friend who he listened to ICP.
Yep.
Now that I see how their fan base was actually just recently one of like a related artist to them, I think is Lex the Hexmaster. I had an opportunity to go and open for him. I believe it was like this month.
Oh, damn.
And I turned it down because ICP fans, I mean,
they're rowdy.
They're rowdy. They go hard for like their belief in that type of music. So for me to hop up on stage and let them down, it would not go.
Well, it's admirable. I'll respect that.
I felt like it wasn't my place to step onto that stage with that type of crowd.
I think
they have a pretty diehard fan base.
I think they would have understood the opening spot, though. You know what I mean? They wouldn't have come too hard. And also, like, you know, they're probably still waiting to like get into the party mode and stuff like that. So they probably would have accepted you. From the handful of juggalos and juggolettes that I've met,
I mean, I hope
they are nicer people than their exterior will often give off. So.
Really? I mean, some of them look like, man, I mean, some of them I would like stay 10 feet away from because like, never know that Hatchet might come out.
Hey, yeah, no, they, like I said, they're rowdy, but they're good enough people.
All right.
But that being said, I'm curious to know now, because you know, it sounds like you have a pretty extensive experience with music going back.
Yeah.
What was one of the first albums you ever bought with your own money?
One of the first ever albums that I bought, I believe it was, what was that one album? It was by Switchfoot, I believe.
Okay.
I think it was either Switchfoot or Thousand Foot Crutch. It was the one album that kind of had like the mask on it, like their white mask on it. It was the black one with the white mask. I forgot what the name of the.
Yeah, I'm the worst with names.
I haven't listened to it for years. But besides that, I believe the first one I remember, like that I can pull to my head right now, it would be A King for a Day, Pierce the Veil.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, hell yeah. Quality album, for sure.
Pierce the Veil, that was my favorite one. The way that he comes in with like that screaming tempo and just rides up and then rides down with this. I don't know how they do that. I've been trying to figure it out.
They were nuts. But they were nuts. Like, I don't even know if they're still doing stuff. They might.
I think they just released a new album recently.
Okay, hell yeah. Damn, I need to get back in on that.
I was like,
I have not circled back on that music in a while.
Yeah, that was an interesting music scene back then.
Hell yeah. And then what was the first live show you ever went to? That was like one you wanted to go to. So you saw it was happening, got tickets.
Live show, actually got to see Thousand Foot Crutch and Switchfoot, Lecrae, and all at this thing is called Rock the Universe at Universal Studios. So my youth group at the time, we all got, so like basically they had us pay like half the rate because like they got a sponsorship from like the actual event.
Cool.
So all the youth groups from around the world go to Universal Studios Orlando.
Oh, damn.
And so for us, it was just like a car ride up there.
Yeah, you were
so we got a hotel as a youth group. And so I remember walking up to like the stage, like it was basically like the whole entire park was rented out for just Christians. And I was just like, wow, you know, there's all these people here. And then Lecrae comes running up on stage. And I was like, hold on, wait, that's Lecrae. And I ran straight through the crowd up to the front. And me and my homie, Eric, who's now in the Air Force, he's been there for like, I think he's serving 2 terms now.
Oh, damn.
But that was his favorite like artist. He'd bump it in the car all the time. And he was crying. I'm just like, bro, you don't gotta cry. He's like, no, that's Lecrae. I'm just like, dang, this is intense. He had the best performance, I believe. But then I got to see Switchfoot after that. And And then, yeah.
That's wild. That sounds like a rad first time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was insane.
I bet. And then before we wrap up the foundation questions and get more into the current day, do you have a defining moment where you decided you wanted to take music more seriously? So
the point where I wanted to take music more seriously was when my older brother, he had previous bands. Like Red Dog Revival is the one that I remember the most. But at the time, I was making clothing at the time, and I sent him, I don't believe it was, I think I sent my mother like a custom weed nug hat that I had made that was tie-dyed. And around like that same time, I saw my older brother go up on stage with his band Red Dog Revival and like some tie-dye pants. And I was like, what if there was an artist that went up on stage and like just wore wonky stuff and was like in the hip-hop scene? I was like, wait, but then I kind of realized everybody does that. So I was smoking a blunt with all my homies behind the house in Fort Myers next to the train tracks. And these are all people that I chill with on like the daily. And one day, like I was listening, I believe I was listening to Post Malone at the time.
Okay.
I was really big on Post Malone, and then Boogie with the Hoodie, I believe. and they had some inspiration in some of their music where like anybody can do this type of energy.
Yeah.
So one day I was hella stoned and they passed the blunt to me and I was like, yo, what if I became a rap artist and moved to the West Coast? They're like, whoa, shut up. Like, what are you thinking, bro? Just hit the blunt past it. So the blunt came back around again. I was like, no, for real, bro. Like, because like to us in our circle, like the blunt was the microphone.
Oh, okay, so whoever was holding it was the only person that got to talk.
When they said that, because everybody was talking over each other, right? Like everybody would just be going through like, okay, everybody shut up. The blunt is the microphone. If you have it, you can talk.
Okay.
So I was like, this is my perfect time to say what I want to say. So I'm just like, no, for real, guys, you guys got to listen to me. I'm going to buy a plane ticket and go to the West Coast. I'm just going to take a backpack. And I'm going to go out there, try to find like a room to rent or something, get a job. And then I'm going to become a rap artist. And at that time, I was going by, I believe it was F Reality at the time. And so they all kind of laughed at me or like, bro, you're just a joke. And then I kind of just one day, after I was at the mall, like after like a couple days after that, I went to the mall. And since me and my homies kind of ran amok around the town, kind of did our thing, I thought I was some tough shit at the time. You know, I thought I thought I was tough. So I'm in the mall, my phone's about to die. I'm just like, great, the homies are trying to hit me up. I gotta go hop on like 3 buses just to get to them. Yeah. I was like, well, I need to go charge my phone. So I was walking over to my spot and there's this big dude just sitting in the chair. And he's sitting there charging his phone. I'm just like, that's my spot. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, you need to get up right now. You're sitting in my spot, bro. I don't know what I was thinking. I just knew that, like, okay, if my homie's here that I didn't, like, you know, stand on my shit, they're not going to, like, accept me. I thought that I was kind of in that mindset at the time. So I was like, bro, you need to get up right now, bro, or I'm going to throw you out of the chair. And he stood up, and I realized
you're like, oh, no.
He was taller than me, and I'm just like, oh, no, I'm screwed. And then he's like, hold on. You seem like you're lost. And I was like, wait, what? And he's like, I was like, where are you from? He's like, I'm from the Bronx. I was like, oh, okay. Now, yeah, never mind. You're chill, bro. And he's like, no, I want to tell you something. So he whips out his phone and he's like, do you even know who I am? I was like, what are you talking about? Who do I know? I don't know
of course
who
not.
You are, bro. I just asked you to get out of my chair, bro. I don't know you. And he's just like, I'm here in your town. I was just on Fox and we just filmed a little short film in the area. He's like, I'm Quincy Jones Jr. the third.
Oh, shit.
So it's Quincy Jones' son.
Oh, shit, yeah.
He's his third son.
Damn.
Sitting right in front of me. He's like, you see me? This is me on the news. And I was just like, okay. And then around that time, like I was doing hella dumb stuff back then. And then a couple weeks later, like I was like looking for him around town. I was like, well, where's this dude at? You know, I got to come show my friends. Yeah. Right. And so at the time, my music started to pick up in the local area. I started getting in connect with like other artists, like kind of out here. And his name's Steve Woods. He's from Fort Myers. He's now a producer. He took all of his street money and turned it into education. So he took street money and went to college for music. And now he has his own studio down there. But basically what happened was I was chilling at the bus station because I did this thing on Thursdays and Fridays because I wasn't working then. So I'd take my MacBook out there and a big speaker and I'd just play beats. And I'd bring people from the community together. I'd be like, hey, yo, come here. You want to freestyle? And then they start to freestyle, right? And so I'm seeing people from different sections of like the neighborhood come together and start rapping together. I'm just like, wait, you're from, the Zoes, and you're from the Mexican part of town. And they're over here rapping together, having rap battles back and forth. I'm just like, oh, it's cool. Here, hit the blunt. And I'm over here passing a blunt. And they would always call me Chico Suave back then because like I was so nonchalant with the blunt because the cops are sitting at the parking lot and I'm over here passing to everybody. There's like 30 people standing here in a circle. And then one day, because I kept giving to people, one of the friends that I was chilling with and smoked that blunt with in that circle, he ran up on me and stabbed me twice in the back. Oh, shit. Because I handed another friend a chain because I was handing out chains at the time. I was like, this is stupid. So I was like, damn, he punched me real hard. And then my other homie, he lifts up my shirt And he's like, bro, you got. And I was like, oh no, I'm done for. But what I realized is that I brought two parts of the neighborhood that were clashing. And I brought them together with music. And they had heard that I was trying to come out here and do my thing out here. So after that, the next day, like after my homies like pulled up, I was chilling at the bus station, and they're like, bro, you're still out here walking around with staples in your back, bro? Like, that just happened the other day. You're not scared? I was like, I mean, if he's going to get me, he's going to get me. I can't be scared to walk outside.
Yeah.
So I was chilling at the bus stations, Rosa Parks in Fort Myers. And I end up seeing Quincy Jones Jr. the third standing outside with the big duffel bag. And I was like, I so the first thing I do when I walk up to him, I'm just like, yo, what's up, Quincy? He's like, yo, what's up, Elijah? And I'm just like, oh, hey, guess what just happened the other day?
Hey, fun little story. I got stabbed a couple of times.
I was like, dude, I got stabbed twice, bro. And he's just like, come here, away from your friends. Come here. I need to talk to you. It's serious.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, you guys will go wait over there. I'll be back in a second. He says, you see your friends over there? The same ones laughing with you right now about you getting stabbed are be the same ones walking away from you, grabbing stuff out of your pockets and leaving you for dead. I've seen the stuff in the Bronx. You don't want to do this. You don't want to go down this path. At that point, I'd already kind of like chosen my path at the point.
Yeah.
But he was like, what I want you to do and what you should do, if you don't take my advice, you're stupid. And I was like, okay, well, I don't want to be stupid. I'm trying to be smart. I was trying to be that kid that thought I knew what I was doing, but I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, you need to go find yourself a beautiful wife, a beautiful woman, not here, somewhere else. I want you to get on a plane, go somewhere else. You have talent. I've heard you rap. I've heard you doing your thing. You need to take that and go with it somewhere else. So that Sam now was like, hey, Dad, I need to leave. And he's like, what, are you running from somebody? I was like, well, I mean, kind of. I mean, I had the whole stabbing thing happen. I mean, I think I should leave.
Yeah.
And then I've convinced him to buy me a plane ticket to Portland, PDX International Airport. And that the next morning I got on the plane and came out here.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I mean, that's definitely a good reason to relocate, and it definitely sounds like an inspiring reason.
I still have people down in Fort Myers. They'll hit me up by my old rap names, like, yo, what's up, Lil Backwoods, bro? What's up, 239, dude? I'm just like, all right. And they'll rehearse my old lyrics to me over the phone, and I'm just like, dang, I'm really doing something.
Yeah, the imprint.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? That's a perfect segue. Let's go ahead and get on into you in the current day, and we're going to get a super easy one out of the way. How did you pick your current name?
So my current name, before I was going by Blast Off, I started off with F Reality. Mm-hmm. So I was like, you know what? Fuck reality. I was doing hella like trippy psychedelics back then. I was on mushrooms, and so like basically what happened was I kind of like had this personality I want to go for in music, and I realized it was kind of like it wasn't me. I was just like being this person that wasn't me. I was putting out music that wasn't me. And then when I met Tavo at like Subway, when I was
Tavo, shout out Son Tavo.
Oh yeah, shout out Son Tavo, shout out everybody in Third Eye Goonies. So I met Tavo at Subway. And at the time I was going by F Reality. He took me to my first studio when I was rapping, doing the dishes. He's like, bro, you're really good. I'm going to take you to the studio tonight. Are you free tonight? And I was like, yeah, all I got to do is just finish the dishes. You can go home early, bro. So I sent him home early because I was a shift lead. Mm-hmm. So I was like, bro, go home early. Go get ready, bro. Have everything ready. I'll try and hurry up and get my clothes done fast. So I closed fast and went to the studio that night. I got my F Reality for a little while. I even went up on stage with them in Olympia.
Oh, hell yeah.
When it was just him and Nobody 47. Mm-hmm. And so shout out Nobody 47 too. But after a while, I got tired of the F Reality name because I was like, you know what? Nobody's going to stick to that. Nobody's going to want to say that.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to go by Elijah Llama. So I went by that for a little while. And then it really wasn't picking up. And then after that, I quit for like 4 years.
Oh, damn.
And I just lived in Seaside, but just chilling, doing my thing. Mm-hmm. And then I had a bunch of like rough patches in my life pop up, and I was like, maybe I should write because it's the perfect time to write. I have all this anger, I have all this stuff going on. Maybe I should start writing.
Yeah, put it some direction.
And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back up to Vancouver. I'm going to see if Tavo and them are still cool. And I'm going to try to give this music chance. Like, I'm going to try to give this music one more chance. And if it doesn't work, then I'm done. So I had chosen the name Blast Off because it's just like taking off in a spaceship.
Yeah.
And most of the time, I mean, nowadays they have technology to bring it back. But I mean, normally when you launch a spaceship up in space, they go and never come back.
Yeah.
So that's why I chose Blast Off.
Hell yeah. I dig that for sure.
Yeah.
And it's a cool name, especially with like the use of the $sign for the S. I think that's a clever little twist.
Yeah.
Just like I do this bit where I break down people's names.
And the $sign is my goal. But I'm just
that's why you put it right in the middle there. Always keep your eye on the middle. Hell yeah, I dig that.
Keep your eye on the money.
Yeah. But now let's go ahead and let's talk about your writing process. And we're gonna talk about all of it. We're gonna break it up in chunks and
my writing process. That's interesting because like earlier in the interview when like talking about how like I ripped somebody else's stuff, but now my writing process nowadays. It's kind of super complex.
Well, let's we'll take it in steps. Okay. So we're going to start right at the beginning.
All
when
right.
you get inspired, you're ready to make music. What are some of the things you do to get a track started?
So the way I get a track started is normally ever since Young Siete and producing with him, I always start without a beat.
Interesting.
I'll start writing, like I'll see something in the room or like I'll think of something funny or I'll hear somebody say something in like a sort of context and like or I'll just listen to things around me, or like I'll hear like like I kind of like take inspiration from either songs that I hear, or like conversations I have on the phone. Sometimes in my text, like, oh, that was funny. I'll take that and I'll just put it in my notes. And then later on, I'll go through and I'll delete ones I don't like, and then I'll take those parts and put them together. And then from there. I kind of go and find my like first beat that I'm gonna do, and then since I'm ADHD, I can't stay focused on that one beat. I'm just like, bro, no, I need a different beat. So I'll take what I already have written, and then I'll slap a different beat to it.
Oh,
interesting. I'll start writing again, and then I'll be like, oh no, man, this is gonna sound terrible on this beat. I need to find a different one, and then I find the third or fourth final beat. And by the time I'm done writing, I've written to like 4 or 5 different beats. Or there's times that I've taken verses that I've just been sitting there and like Tavo or DMP or Lil Mighty or one of them like, hey bro, I need a feature. So I'll just throw it onto their track and I have no idea when I'm pulling up to the studio and what I'm going to hear. So like, here's the beat. And I'm just like, okay. And I pull up the one that I have, I'm just like, I'll start deleting stuff and changing it to fit.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like the process is like, I'm not very just set on one beat. So like sometimes I'll even confuse the Goonies because I'm just like, hey, yo, I got this song idea, and I'll throw it into the group chat and I'm just like, yo, I got a song idea. Here's the beat. And then 2 hours later, oh, wait. No, it's this beat. And then Tavo has to text me and says, bro, which beat are we doing? Is it this one or this one? I'm just like, great.
You pick. It'll work over either of them. Trust
which
me.
one do you like? And so, kind of like at one point, I used to send Tavo like tons of beats, and then nowadays I'll be chilling in the car with him, and I'll hear the same beat I sent him like maybe 3 years ago, and I'm just like, wait, you use that? Dang it, I can't use it anymore. So yeah.
Hell yeah. I dig that for sure.
Yeah.
And then once you get a track finished writing, so like, it doesn't have to be like released per se, but once you've written it and you're ready to start memorizing it. Oh, and I guess I should ask, do you, it sounds like you mostly write your stuff down. Do you do any freestyling like that, or is it mostly pen and paper?
Sometimes I do. The only times I pull out freestyles is, I mean, I don't like to admit this, but I get into my blast off moments, which is basically like either I took too many mushrooms or like I drank too much or something like that. I'll be like, guys, I'm too messed. I can't even see my freaking keyboard on my phone, and I don't know if I can write right now, but I got you. And I'll hop in the booth and I'll just go like 5, 6. I'll be like, cut, no, redo it, cut, redo it, cut, redo it. And then eventually I'll get something out and they're like, stick with that one. And
perfect. Okay. Hell yeah. I dig that. And then, like I said before, once you get a track finished writing, how long does it usually take you to get comfortable to be able to perform it?
I'd say I have to listen to it at least for like 3 or 4 days before doing it. But there have been times that there was one song called "What It Do, Baby." That one I would say is probably one of my biggest hits right now. I do have to redo it, so I'm going to be probably taking it down and then releasing it with the music video coming out here soon. But what happened with that one was we recorded it on a Goonie Day, which is on Goonie Wednesdays. So on Wednesdays, we used to get together and all record tracks. Not all the Goonies are always there. It's either like different Goonies. So it's always a different experience every time. You're not going to get the same artist, the same flows. So we were in the studio and then we recorded it. It took us like 3 or 4 hours to record it. And they were like, bro, this is going to be a hit. So we immediately went out to do our Burn the Streets on Burnside, which I'm pretty sure, I don't know if Heaven Sent spoke much about it, but he used to do Burn the Streets Burnside on the corner of, I can't remember which street it was. So it's right there where there's that one like bar on the corner and there's that bicycle statue. We'd like record in front of there. They put tables there now. Ah, damn. Yeah, I could jump on top of the table and still do it, but Heaven Sent, we need to. So basically, we went out there and performed What It Do, Baby. I didn't know any of the lyrics. I was just like doing like the key parts.
You were just ad-libs that night.
Ad-libs that night.
Oh yeah, no, I dig that. And actually, that's a funny way to segue into this. Usually, like I said, usually this is the part where we break down some of the music and stuff and like talk about what you did recently, and then I make my personal pick. We're gonna do it out of order because my personal pick was definitely What It Do, Baby.
Really?
Yeah, that was like the one that just like it hits. Like it's got, I mean, the beat was tough. Everybody was gassing on it. And I mean, props for having Third Eye Goonies in the hook. You know what I mean? Like shouting out the crew for that one.
Yeah, so basically, with that one is one of my most favorites. I do have a new favorite. I really can't even talk about my new favorite one because it's not even out yet. It's part of my new album that I'm working on right now. What It Do, Baby was kind of like the stepping stone for myself because now I'm just like, great, I put out a great ass track. Now I have to stay to that, momentum. Shout out Momentum.
Oh, yeah, shout out Momentum.
Basically, what I did for that one was I put a lot of work into it. Like it was supposed to be a complete different track, as explained earlier. My whole thinking process. It was supposed to be my own single track of just me on it. And then I was like, you know what? I didn't have anything ready for a Goonie Day. And I was like, oh crap. I was the one who brought it up in the group chat. Hey, let's do a Goonie Day, but I had nothing for the table.
Yeah.
So I was like, great. So I threw out some old bars that I was writing. I was basically trying to do a Gotham City kind of vibe for Portland. Because whenever I walk through Portland, I'm just like, dang, this is like Gotham City almost. So, certain key points in that song were like experiences that I had while being in Portland. Like, there was this one time I almost smoked. So there's a crack can on the corner, and at the time I really wanted to hit some weed, and I was like, okay, I'll hit some weed, and he was sitting there smoking a blunt with his girlfriend or something, and he goes to pass it to me. And I start to smell the blues smell. And so I walked down the street and I was like, had blues, you didn't even know it, baby. And I was like, oh wait, that's another freaking line. So I just kept writing onto it. And so I was just like, yeah. And so eventually it kind of all pieced together. And so now whenever I pop out and play that song, which I haven't played it since I think New Year's. I haven't performed since New Year's with that song. But whenever we pop out to play it, the crowd at Waypost will go wild. Like everybody's like, oh,
yeah,
it was crazy. So that one was probably my most favorite.
Hell yeah.
But besides that one, my top pick would be Goals, Halfway Goals.
Okay, hell yeah.
Because that one I made the beat myself. It was the first ever beat I tried to put together, and I was at the lowest point of my life. And this is when I remembered that I still had all the Goonies back up here. I had Tavo, Nobody. I didn't know he had a bunch of other people that were around the scene that I'd never seen before. So I wrote Halfway Goals. It was basically about pursuing your goals and not taking it halfway because there's no such thing as a halfway goal. Because I see so many people try to put goals up on the shelf. They put it so high, they can't even reach it. So I'm putting my goals down here so I can go straight at it and get to it. But the part where it says horsemen will rise, I'm talking about the Third Eye Goonies.
Oh, okay.
This is before I even came back and even like joined the Goonies. I was like blasting this around Seaside, just chilling. And the seagulls, I actually took my phone out to like the docks and
And just recorded the seagulls?
and recorded the
Hell yeah.
seagulls. And then I was like, wait, I need the ocean. So
Okay.
I walked into the ocean, stuck my phone over the waves, just sat there getting my shoes wet, just recording the ocean. And then my girlfriend at the time was like, "What are you doing? Do you look like you're on drugs out there in the water, like holding your phone over the water?" I was like, "No."
Yeah, you're getting those royalty-free samples.
And so, yeah, so literally, I run back to the house, I slap it all together, and then I put the wrap over it, and I was like, this is perfect. And at the time, I was recording off of, I can't remember, there was this group from Seaside a long time ago. They were Insane Clown Posse fans, and he gave me one of his old busted microphones, and I had a $300 Chromebook, and so I downloaded Audacity. Had this one place is called Soundtrap. I'd make beats on there, so I throw the stuff in there, made the beat, and then I put it into Audacity because I didn't know I could record on Soundtrap at the time. I just learned that recently. But
fair.
I put it into Audacity, and then I put my lyrics beneath it, and then I use Audacity to freaking change the auto tune parts and to put it to the beat. And then when I was done, I was like, I created a new sound. And so now I've kind of stuck with that kind of vibe and sound throughout the rest of my music.
Hell yeah. No, you've definitely got there's growth in your music for sure. It's not like you sound like your day one stuff, but you've definitely got a style, which I appreciate. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
People come into the space and they have something that kind of makes them their own. You know what I mean? Something when you hear them with other people, they don't just sound like the other people. Yeah,
I've had people mention that. Maddie B the other day when I went out to the waterfront when we were doing promotions for our show coming up at Hawaiian Vapor, Maddie B was like, when you hopped on that remix, I think you were really messed up, but you did like this in the song, and it's perfect. I got to send you a snippet. He still hasn't sent me a snippet up. I'm still waiting to hear it, because that day I was gone, but I was still producing music. I was like still in the booth doing it.
Yeah.
And, it's this one song that goes, I can't remember the lyrics right now. I don't think I should even
No, you're all good. You're all good.
That because he has a remix coming out. So
gotcha. Well, then we won't give too much away for that. But with that being said, we've got one last question to go in this middle portion. Okay. And this is probably the densest question in the interview. But, we've talked a lot about your experience with music, and you've got some experiences with your music and leading up to it. And I mean, even additionally, you've got a lot of community building even. So, it's really cool that you've utilized music in so many ways just to be involved in so many things and have so much come from it. But when it's just you and music one-on-one, what does music give back to you?
So music gives back to me. I'm the sort of person that if I'm sitting in a quiet room for too long, I'll look at somebody hey, you got some music to play? If not, I'm going to take out my phone and start playing something. And they're like, well, why can't you sit in silence? And it's more because for me, music has kind of gotten me through all the hard times in my life. If there's an argument going on, two people are fighting, I'll go step aside, either put some headphones in and start playing music, because it's it's almost like an escape. Which is what I talk about in space travels. It's talking about traveling, to me, music is, it's like an escape. I can put headphones in and I can travel to a whole different plane and be in a whole different mind state based off the music that you listen to. That's why I always tell people whenever they listen to music, sometimes you have to be careful on what you feed your mind, because some of those emotions might feed into your actual life and actually might play out. So if you're that person that's always playing hard drill music, you drive through the wrong neighborhood playing that, you don't know what's going to happen. So I always tell people to be careful with music, but music to me is more of it got me through so I had a custody battle with with my son in Florida that I had while being down there, and that was kind of the key point, because when he was first born, the first thing I wanted to do with him was I took him straight home and started playing music to him.
Hell yeah.
I just sat there playing like what was it? I think it was Timothy Craig or something like that, and then what was his name? Something Bryant, Luke Bryant or something like that. You know, just some family classics. And then another reason why music is a big thing to me is because my mother, she kind of did a little bit in the 90s, but I've never figured out her rap name or nothing like that. But my mom, she loves music. So to be in a household that loves music, she's like the person, she's like, hey son, come on, hop in the car. Let's go ride to the beach and just blast music.
Oh yeah.
And so she's just blasting her music up and down the street. Everybody knows who she is because the car is just bumping.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, especially as of right now, they recently gave her like 6 months to like live from cancer. So
sorry to hear that.
Music has gotten me through that. I don't think I'd be able to piece myself together without music because I make it. Plus, before I would just listen to it. So it's always eased pain. It's always eased, you know, everything in life. It's kind of like sedation to like life almost to me. I don't know how to explain it.
No, I mean, it sounds like you use music as a way to kind of ground yourself. Cause you know, I mean, I'm going to be honest, just from what I've heard, it sounds like you have a fairly chaotic lifestyle. Like, you know, you had a lot of ups and downs, really like roller coaster-esque. So having something that can anchor you, I mean, is arguably the most important thing.
I mean, it's been rough throughout my life, but I always go back to the happy things, and that's music because it brings everyone together. Like I've seen, as I mentioned earlier, I've seen people that shouldn't have been talking together, and I was like, what if the whole world just stopped for like 10 minutes and all listen to music? Yeah. Stop talking and just all listen to music. What would happen? You know?
Oh, totally. And I mean, it like I said, just from what I've heard, it sounds like you've created community through music in multiple aspects. You've found community through music.
Like shout out Maddie B, shout out Momentum, shout out a bunch of you guys, because I'll be out there chilling at like shows and stuff, and I'll see them literally like putting in their words, I'm gonna blast off to the stars, and they're pointing at me, and I'm just like, you know, like I'm just like, dang, I actually like, even though I've been through so much, I still try to put on a happy face in all my music. Yeah. And I also realized that like the reason why it sounds like I'm laughing all the time is because I learned with music you got to have a smile when you're talking to the microphone, because it makes a better sound, you get a better output. So whenever I'm smiling. So like to me, it's like whenever I think about music, I smile because now that I'm doing music, I have people who can relate to certain things. I remember I've actually like at one point when I quit music, that's when I found out how much music meant to me, was because my stepdad, he just had beaten like he had like this tumor that he got in the military. He was a United States Special Forces, and he had just gotten over that. He's going through alcoholism. He had the hots for my mom. Like I'm talking like he was really out to get my mom. And my mom kind of like dipped and left and went back to Texas, and then kind of just left him here. And I was still chilling with him because he was a cool individual. And so I watched him break down. He kind of had like a heart attack or something that night. And this man, he made me dinner while having a heart attack.
Damn.
He was sitting there like, and I'm just like, Dad, stop, go sit down. He's like, nah, kids eat first. Oh, damn. It took him 4 or 5 hours to make that dinner, but I mean, I've never seen anything like that in my life. And then later I
gotta know, was the dinner good?
It was hella good.
Hell yeah. What a man.
It was a fat cheeseburger with like at least like 3 or 4 pounds of cheese in like the middle. It was like a fat cheeseburger about that big.
What a man.
And I was like, dang, but I kept trying to, I was like, hey, I'm gonna call a paramedic. She's like, no, I have a no resuscitate. So if I die, I die. And I'm just like, whoa. Okay, you know, like, whoa. But he was sitting there, just sitting there chilling. And I was like, hey, I got this sample I want you to hear from me. And so I sang the sample to him, and he started crying. And I was like, damn, I'm a United States Special Forces cry. like, this is not normal. He's like, son, you have no idea. He's like wiping his, you have no idea how much. I'm just like, maybe I need to go back.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That's why I love music.
Damn. Well, thank you for sharing all of that.
You're welcome.
But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and move on to the next portion, which is all hypothetical questions.
Hypothetical.
Yeah.
Hey.
For these, the sky's the limits. The questions are all made up, so the answers are allowed to be as well. But this first one's pretty straightforward. If you could work with any one person, the only requirement is they have to be alive.
Alive.
Who would you want to work with, and how would you want to work with them?
That's a really hard one. I would say, as of right now, the person who I really want to work with is Young Pinch.
Okay.
Yeah, Young Pinch. He's from the Bay area in LA. I believe LA. I think it's Sacramento, somewhere around there. He's somewhere around the area.
We can say California for sure.
Yeah, he's from Cali. He's a Cali boy. He's a Cali beach boy. A project I want to do with him is like, because I haven't done a music video, and if it were to be a possibility, I want to do like a hit like type of song, it's like a beachy type of vibe.
Yeah.
Because he always has all like those low riders and all that stuff. He's doing wheelies on bicycles, and it just reminds me of living out in Seaside.
Yeah.
So I think I'd want to do like a Seaside X like Sacramento like kind of camera flip flop.
Okay, hell yeah,
I've never seen anybody do that before in hip hop. I've never seen a camera flip from
one beach to another beach.
Yeah,
that's actually a really clever idea.
Yeah, from beach to beach.
Yeah, hell yeah, no, I dig that for sure.
Definitely Beach Boys. Yeah.
And then subsequently, who's a local artist that you're like aware of? You know they're there, but you haven't gotten to work with yet, but you would like to?
I would say the Cordetta Boys, JC Cordetta and Swiggle. I'd say them two. Them two put on most of the. Them two have kind of made it to where everybody below them is able to have an opportunity to come up.
Yeah.
And I believe he signed J Sweden, I believe is what his name was, or G Sweden. I mean, I've always wanted to work with them. Oh, yeah. And I've seen that they've done some pretty cool things. So.
Yeah, no, I dig that. Hey, everybody, you know what to do. Go ahead and add them in the comments. Let's see if we can make that happen.
I hope I can get a feature from Swiggle. I mean, I've known him for a couple of years. I went with somebody to go pick up his merch like 3 or 4 years ago, and I looked at him and I was like, you know, those George Floyd, protests going out there. I looked at him and I was like, yo, Swiggle. And he's like, yeah, what's up? I was like, hey, fuck the cops. I mean, not literally, but like, I was like, go out there and do your thing. You have speakers. You're saying you're the king of Portland. Go out there and do something. Go out there and make an impact on everybody. And then a couple weeks later, after picking up that merch, I was like, dude, what was I saying? I was stupid. Why did I tell Swiggle that? And then it wasn't like I felt dumb for telling him my idea, but it was more of like, I didn't think he was going to do it. And then, cause like as an artist, your job is to impact people. So I was like, if he has a lot of impact, he should go out there. And then I see a news article. He makes the news. He went out there. He went out there and did his thing. And I commend him for that because, I mean, I don't know if that was just the universe speaking. Because when I said that, I didn't remember like it was more of like, I couldn't hold it back. I was like, go out there, do something, because I don't have any speakers. I don't have a microphone. I don't have any of that stuff that you have. So go do something. So that's what kind of like drew me to him. And now he's up here doing his thing. And so I've always loved what they were doing.
Hell yeah. Oh, yeah, no, that's awesome. Well, definitely, like I said, let's make sure to add them in the comments, see if we can make that happen. And then for this next one, like I said before, sky's the limits, and it's pretty literal in this sense. But if you could perform anywhere in the world, and you wouldn't have to worry about crowd access or building stability or power. It's guaranteed the best lineup, guaranteed the best show. And it doesn't have to be a venue. It could be anywhere. It works in the scenario. Where would you want to perform?
Have you ever heard of those like those canyons in like out in Utah where they have so they have these caverns in Utah that are basically like stages. That's like in a cave.
Oh shit.
Like the stage is in the cave and the audience stands outside the cave. But the way it's like built is basically like the sound just radiates throughout the whole entire Grand Canyon.
Oh, what? Wait,
I forgot what it was called.
It's not Red Rock, is it?
Yeah,
Probably
Red Rock.
A quality place to perform for sure.
Yeah, I've always loved nature, and I always want to perform on like a stage. Like I'm always sending the Goonies pictures of places where we could perform.
See, I feel like a cave, like an actual cave with like some kind of formation that actually has. Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be fun to work with, but that'd be a cool vibe for sure.
Yeah, all the bass.
Hell yeah. And then to wrap up the hypothetical question.
Yeah.
If you could get one more album from anybody, they could be alive, they could be dead, they could have not put out an album in 100 years, they could have put out an album yesterday. Who would you want an album from?
One more album. Oh, so you said alive or dead?
Yeah, they could be anybody.
I would say Bushwick Bill.
Interesting.
Yeah, Bushwick Bill from Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Bushwick Bill, he was about that tall. Little midget. Yeah, Bushwick Bill. I love the old school like things because he went from the whole gangster rap to transitioning into Christian rap. But he still lived in the same area. He never changed anything he did. He never bought like he had some fancy cars, but he stayed in the same house that he lived in most of his childhood, stayed in the same area. He didn't change anything about himself. He stayed true to himself. So I would say Bushwick Bill because he had some great content and people always try to take him like he was just a little guy, but I'm pretty sure if you made him mad, I'm pretty sure he'd hop up on that table and be like, what's up now? Yeah, Bushwick Bill.
Oh yeah. All right. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping this up. What can we look forward to between now and October?
Between now and October, I'm trying to get an album out by at least this coming summer. So like at least by May, I'm trying to finalize my album I'm working on right now. I have all the songs. I just got to go back and change a couple things. And then
just change up the whole beat, rewrite all the things.
I believe in August I'm opening for JBL Hood. And then in September I'm opening up for I believe OMBPZ. I'm opening for OMBPZ, and then there was one other one that I'm opening for. How can I forget, dude?
Well, it sounds like you're doing a lot for sure.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot. There's one other show. Montana 300. How can I?
Hell yeah,
Montana 300.
There we go. Hell yeah. Well, that's all exciting.
Yeah.
And then for this next one, go and look straight at the camera. Tell everybody how they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram, Snapchat, and all these different platforms. So Snapchat's Playboy Blast Off. Instagram is I'm Just Blasted. And then I'm not really on Facebook. Don't try adding me there. I might add you. You can find me by typing in Blast Off or and then on Spotify it's Blast Off with a cash sign, YouTube Blast Off with a cash sign, SoundCloud, YouTube, and all the other platforms is Blast Off with the cash sign.
Hell yeah. And then any other plugs, any other shout outs, anybody else you want to
shout out to Lil Mighty, DMP, Hawaiian Punch, Santavo, Nobody 47, Celise, and shout out WYZ. The WYZ boys from Portland are putting on right now.
Hell yeah. And I would say shout out to every single person that he did as well, but I didn't want to like throw it over, but y'all know who you are. And with that being said, we've got one more question to go.
Okay.
But before we do, I'm going to steal the camera for just a second.
Go ahead.
As always, y'all, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And one more shout out to the Brothers Apothecary. Make sure to click the link below and go check them out. Guarantee you're going to like it. And with that being said, the final question. And this is entirely up to your interpretation.
Final question.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what is an album you feel is more on the obscure side? So think deep cuts. It's something not a lot of people would know, but it's one you think everybody should know.
Yeah, I never really looked at the album names. I normally listen to the songs in the album, but Germ's latest album that he just released.
Okay, hell yeah. I'll try and put it on the screen. It should have already been on here while he was talking if I remembered to do it. But we'll definitely make sure it ends up on
I'm totally sorry.
No, you're all good. You're all good. Well, hey, honestly, dude, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Yeah. This has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's JamBox. I'm Jimmy.
I'm Blast Off.
And we're signing off. Later, y'all.
That's a wrap. This is not a podcast. This is a show. Keep jamming.